We have two premium dining options for breakfast on Virgin Voyages, the Wake or Razzle Dazzle. Now they're very different restaurants, but here's the important tips you need to know. Number one, of course, is that you can book either of them every single day of your voyage for breakfast. I think they usually start around 8 a.m., maybe even 7:30, until around, I think, 11 or 12-ish, but just double check that because these things do tend to change. The important tip that you do need to be aware of, though, is for your final day, disembarkation day. On disembarkation day, they actually open both these venues up much earlier than every single other day of the week. However, what's very important that you know is when the initial reservations open for dining on the application before you board the ship, they are not going to show these earlier time slots no matter what. Only once you're on the ship and connected to the Wi-Fi will you be able to see, for example, a 6:30 reservation in the morning for the Wake or Razzle Dazzle. So please make sure you keep that in mind if you need to catch an early flight or for whatever reason you've got to get off the ship very quickly on the final day as soon as it's essentially dark. When it comes to lunch on Virgin Voyages, there are two premium dining options available, but there's a caveat there and we're going to touch on it in a moment. So it's our old friends, the Wake and Razzle Dazzle. However, here's the trick. They are only available for lunch on sea days. That means on embarkation day, obviously disembarkation day, and everything in between where you're out of port, they will not be available for lunch, but where you have a sea day, they will be. Now here's what you need to know that I think is very important that kind of gets overhyped or missed out when people are trying to find out about this exclusive rare occasion when they're open for lunch. Number one, the menus are 100% the brunch menus at either of them. And then in the case of, I think, only the Wake now, but maybe they'll change this, you get a small insert that is specifically for lunch that they add to it. And there's not actually that many items. In fact, last I recall at least, there were maybe 2 or 3 items. And for sure, 2 of them were the same tiny petite steak, just done differently. So is it worth all the fuss and hype and difficulty of getting that reservation? I don't think so. So my tip would be, if you just want really good food for lunch and you were going to go to the Wake in particular, rather save your time, the time and effort, go to a place you don't need a book, so here's an honorable mention, and go to what I think is the best place on the ship for lunch. And that is the dock or the dock house, which is literally one up from the Wake at the back of the ship. If it's a good weather day and you're at sea, you'll have the best view because it's literally overlooking the ocean. And there's an indoors part to it too, so it's such a win-win. Another sort of honorable mention, of course, is don't forget about the pizza place. That's available for lunch too, so you could just go there, especially because the pizza on the ship is actually really good. Now I know no matter what I say and try and help you out and convince you that it's really not worth it going through all this stress to go to these places for lunch if they're open, you're still going to want to do it. So let me at least try and make this a little easier for you or to have your cake and eat it. First step is, the easiest thing to do is that you're not going to have breakfast out of these places and you're just going to book the lunch reservation because their system only lets you book either breakfast or lunch. It counts it as both. So you need to pick which one you really want. But let's say you did want to try have both. Is it possible? Yes. This is a very difficult trick to pull off, but it does work 100%, especially